Customer service culture. Customer service culture is not unlike the common principles and standards in the same way that we all have a strong sense of what good customer service culture is, or sometimes I think we have a stronger sense of when we have a bad customer service experience. And equally so, I think across the network, we see a strong desire and a consistent desire from all service providers and staff at the front line to embed a strong culture of customer service across the community services sector. I think for the most part, people do this really well. The challenge, of course, is when we are under stress, we're having a bad day, we typically or all too often are working with clients who are stressed, having bad days, don't always communicate in a way that we feel is respectful, and those are the times when we don't always give that positive experience. The problem is that what we know is that customer service is critical to building an effective early intervention and prevention service system. And it's critical because we want people to access services early. And one of the key ways people find out about our services and are motivated to come and seek support is through word of mouth and recommendation. So what happens when people have a positive customer service experience is they go away from your service, one, feeling good, which is what we want. Two, they're probably more likely to have engaged in some kind of support that is leading to a benefit for them. And thirdly, they're more likely to recommend us to a friend or a family member. And that's critical. That's what we need to see happening for the service system to be effective. So that's why customer service culture is important. I don't think anyone's going to take issue with that or disagree with it. So how do we get started? We want you to familiarize yourself with what other organizations are doing. So if we go to our little toolbox here, we've provided this document, which is based on the prototyping period from the Linker Network, where we spent some time working with organizations to try and learn how to do this stuff. Because some of it might sometimes feel a little bit like sucking eggs. You don't need to tell me how to smile and things like that. So we went out and we asked people to give us their words about how do you talk to someone about making sure that your organization has great customer service. So there's some stuff there that organizations and managers can use to help embed that into their organization, and take some time to have a look at that. The second thing that we want organizations to do is a self-assessment, and it's a couple of pages, and it basically runs through a few different things and asks you whether it's not applicable, whether you're meeting the Linker Network expectations, or there's an area to improve on. And I have to say, this is really modeled on the kind of work health and safety audits that we are accustomed to doing in our work. Most people would be familiar with that. And it is, in a sense, a prompting tool. It's a prompting tool that requires you to take some time out of your day, week, month, year, whatever it is, to pause and think about this space, the experience that people have when they walk into this service, who greets them, how they greet them. And if we don't do that in a purposeful and consistent way, we risk missing opportunities to make small improvements that could have a big impact for the experience of people accessing our service. So there's a self-assessment tool that we want organizations to use. And then the last part of implementing the customer service culture, again, like the common principles and standards, is focused on those local linker networks and organizations sitting together with other managers from other services in their local linker network and having a conversation about what are we going to do? What are we going to do when we are confronted by the fact that a service a client has come back and reported that they didn't have a positive experience at another service in your local linker network. And we want to find ways that we can do that in a constructive, respectful, and positive way that actually leads to that organization being supported to improve. Quite often it's a one-off. As managers, we don't always know what's happening on the front line, so that kind of healthy culture of shared reporting and shared communication is a benefit, not just for the organization, but of course for the clients who access our services.